At the moment, I've got a rough idea of how we are going to plan the allotment. It's just a rough one, but let me just give you an idea of what we've got planned. If we come to the back of the allotment, I was hoping to have a row of canes where we would grow climbers, things like sweet peas, beans, large sunflowers, any sort of climbing plants, perhaps some passion flowers or clematis, whatever, takes our fancy, because it will shade that area of brambles and Sellers train station and also provide a nice backdrop. And if we come forward a bit from the back, there's going to be 4 large vegetable plots at the back of this allotment. Basically, when you grow veg, you have to rotate what you grow every year. So, for example, you can't grow certain vegetables in the same place every year. You have a thing called crop rotation. So we're going to have 4 groups of vegetables. And next year, whether it's me or someone else taking on this allotment, they will move that around, so they'll grow different veg in each plot. So there'll be cabbages in one plot, potatoes, tomatoes in the other, and I'm not sure, but I think turnips and squash in the third one. Basically, there will be a plan of the 4 groups of vegetables. Then coming forward, I'm planning to have 2 plots of soft fruit. Now, we're hoping at the moment to grow things like strawberries, raspberries, and maybe other berries. If anybody has any particular desire to grow a particular fruit or veg, obviously we can accommodate that. But roughly, I'm thinking things like raspberry, blackcurrant, things like that. Maybe not. I was thinking about growing gooseberry, but gooseberry has really bad brambles on the stem, and I'm just worried about people sort of turning up and hurting themselves, particularly children. So maybe gooseberry will not be growing here, unfortunately. But there will be other nice soft fruits. And then at the front of the allotment, as you can see, we've got this shed and the seating area, which we are going to hopefully expand with more slabs so that people can have chairs and tables here. So at the front there will be 2 plots where there's going to be wildflowers and any other sort of flowers that people particularly want to grow. I'm thinking of something like chocolate cosmos, which has a really strong brown colour and smells of chocolate. So I'm also trying to incorporate smell and sight in these beds. So we want plants that look good and also have a particular scent. And that's really stimulating for people with any sort of disabilities, particularly mental health. Not just looking at flowers, but touching and smelling them also helps to make you feel better. And obviously around that shed area we're going to have a lot of herbs. Perhaps we'll have some sort of pots hanging on the shed. If we can get someone that's good with DIY, they might bang in a few sorts of planters there. And we're going to have lots of herbs as well, so things like rosemary, even lavender, things like that, so that the smell will attract bees and other insects. Another thing we're going to incorporate, I'm sorry, I've just noticed there's a bird on that tree. I don't know if you can see a little long-tailed tit. There's a bird feeder up there, so we are conscious also about encouraging wildlife into this plot, particularly birds and bees, because they're going to help pollinate the plants. So we're going to have bird feeders and maybe a little sort of bee house that we can make ourselves out of twigs, just to encourage them to come to our plot. So the front area, it's hard to imagine at the moment because it looks pretty bad, but it is going to be, very colourful, lots of pots and herbs and things. So that will be eventually a very nice seating area. Okay.